Chapter 10. The Night of Shadows. When evening came, the Everlight was gone. The sky hung black and restless over Chicago, thick clouds swallowing every trace of starlight. For the first time since the merging of nations, the city was silent. Streets that had been crowded for weeks now stood nearly empty. Shop windows reflected only flickering neon and the occasional passing car. It was as if the city itself had taken a breath and was holding it. Eli walked along the near west side, his steps echoing softly off the brick buildings. He felt the weight of the silence. Every few blocks, he saw remnants of the false unity, golden symbols painted on walls, posters of the messenger now torn and fluttering in the wind. Yet there was something else in the air, something colder. The light that had drawn so many now left behind a hollow space. And into that space, darkness began to move. At first, it was subtle. Streetlights dimmed, then flickered back to life. Shadows stretched longer than they should have, bending in directions opposite the lamps. The wind carried whispers, faint and indistinct, like a crowd murmuring just beyond hearing. Eli stopped at the corner of Roosevelt and Loomis, gripping his Bible tightly. Psalm chapter 27 verse 1, he whispered. The Lord is my light and my salvation, whom shall I fear? The Lord is the strength of my life, of whom shall I be afraid? From an alley beside him, a figure stepped out, not Malik, not human. Its shape shifted like smoke given form, tall and thin with eyes that burned faintly red. It spoke without moving its mouth, its words crawling through the air. You broke the light, it said. Now you must bear the night. Eli steadied himself. Darkness only proves the light still exists. The figure tilted its head. Do you believe your words can stop what has begun? I believe the word that was spoken before any of this began, Eli replied. John chapter 1 verse 5, and the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. The shadow hissed, its form rippling. Then comprehend this. It lunged forward, but as it neared him, the candle in Eli's hand flared white hot. The creature shrieked, recoiling into the wall and vanishing like smoke in the wind. Malik appeared moments later, his expression grave. They are rising, he said. When the false light fell, it tore the veil between sight and spirit. The deceiver's servants walk freely now, feeding on confusion. Eli looked around. The air shimmered faintly, revealing glimpses of movement in every direction, spirits, countless, shifting through the city like mist. Then the battle has moved to the open. Malik nodded. And every nation that gathered here will face it. Some will bow. Some will fight. And some will fall between the two. They walked toward the loop together. In the distance, faint lights flickered from building rooftops, groups gathering, praying, or perhaps plotting. The sound of distant shouting echoed through the streets. The unity of deception had fractured, and in its place, a dozen false truths were fighting for dominance. Eli turned to Malik. What now? Now, Malik said quietly, you will see the watchers. They reached Grant Park, where the lake stretched out like black glass. Along the shore, dozens of figures stood in silence, facing east. Their faces glowed faintly with light from within, their eyes fixed on something beyond the horizon. Eli recognized them, people from every nation, every tongue, the same who once celebrated the Everlight. But now they stood as if entranced, murmuring words not their own. The wind carried their chant, a call, ancient and rhythmic. What are they doing? Eli asked. Inviting what they think they lost, Malik answered. The false light promised them peace. Now they summon it again, not knowing they call the shadow instead. A low hum began to rise over the lake, the same tone that had once filled the tunnels beneath the city. The water trembled. In the distance, something vast moved beneath the surface, not a creature of flesh, but of presence. Eli stepped forward. We can't let it rise. Malik nodded. Then speak the word. Eli opened his Bible, his voice cutting through the wind. Isaiah chapter 60 verse 2, For, behold, the darkness shall cover the earth, and gross darkness the people, but the Lord shall arise upon thee, and his glory shall be seen upon thee. The ground shook. The hum fractured into chaos. The watchers fell to their knees, crying out as the dark presence burst upward from the lake, not a body, but a form of shadow shaped like wings spreading across the skyline. For a moment, the entire city dimmed, as though the night itself had deepened. But the word still stood in the air like a sword of light. The shadow struck against it and shattered into fragments that scattered into the streets. The watchers collapsed, unconscious but alive. The water stilled. The wind stopped. And over the city, silence fell once more. Malik turned to Eli, his eyes weary but steady. You've held back the tide, he said. But the night isn't over. Eli looked up at the dark sky where faint stars began to appear through the thinning clouds. Then we stand until dawn. And somewhere, far above the skyline, a single voice whispered through the night, not of deception, but of promise. Hold fast, for the morning comes.